Today we're working out in the absolute Fort Worth location. I just want to point out how insane this gym is. Take a look around you right now. This is a $20 million facility, and they have just the most freak machines and environment here. First opened up Absolute Recomp in Las Colinas in North Richland Hills. They wanted to do like $3,000. 3,000 applicants. All right, guys, so we just finished up this drop set right here. Before we go and interview others, I'm actually gonna give my own opinion about who's natural and who's not. I'm gonna put their picture on the screen. You guys let me know in the comments below what you guys think, but I'm gonna go ahead, based on what I know and who I've met and like what I've seen in the industry, I'm gonna go ahead and give my rundown of who I think is natural or not. So starting off with the Brinks, I know this guy personally, he works out in my gym. At first, I thought he wasn't natural, but kind of going off of seeing more about his diet and his workouts and just him as a person, he just won his pro card. Congratulations. I do think he's natural. Max Taylor, I know him personally. I feel like based on the conversations we've had, there is no way that this guy would hop on steroids. So I'm going to say he's natural as well for sure. Gabe, I know him personally as well. All these guys work out at Muscle Factory. Shout out to Muscle Factory in Arizona. I do think Gabe is natural as well, just based on what I've talked to him about. And he was in a couple of my interviews, and he kind of gave his reasoning as to why he would never hop on steroids, and I 100% believe him. And his physique, he just has elite genetics. I do think it's attainable naturally, for sure. Lex Little, I've had my doubts about this, but I do think that Lex Little is natural, just because of the fact that I've seen how these steroid dudes are in person and, on the internet. And I feel like Lex just has great genetics and he's been training for a really long time. So I do think that Lex is natural for sure. Kind of going off the others, starting off with Adam Q. I've had my doubts about this guy just because he put on muscle so quickly in such a fast period of time. So I thought not natural initially, but kind of watching his videos and understanding more about him and like going through his Instagram and stuff like that, I do think this guy's natural, but then again, we never know. Hussein Fit, I thought for sure at first that this guy was not natural, but I do think he's natural just based off of the sponsorships he has and like the type of person he is. He's very religious as well. I just feel like there'd be no reason for him to lie. I'm gonna go with natural for him. Steph Myers, 100% natural. I feel like he just runs in that like Natty crowd. Our camera ended up dying. We were in AR at Fort Worth and I'm already back in Arizona. We ended off with Steph Myers last time, but keeping the list going into Jeff Nippard. 100% I think this guy's natural. It's just his understanding of science and just the way he breaks it down. I feel like he has a great knowledge of what he's doing, and I feel like this is a very naturally attainable physique. So in my opinion, I'm gonna say natural for Jeff Nippard, lifetime. Mike Thurston, I think this guy's natural right now, but there is no way in hell that this dude was natural in the past. I feel like he's dabbled in testosterone and all those things before. There's just no possible way to look like that, especially considering how long he's been training. I just don't think it's possible to stay like that year round as well, while actively building lean muscle into your 30s. So I'm gonna say not natural. I think he's natural right now though. Casey Kelly, I do believe that this guy's 100% natural. He's 6'1", 6'2", I think, 160 pounds. He's just lean as shit, which is why people question his natural status, but I do think he's natural, especially at stage weight, and he just lean bulks properly. Right now, I think he's like 190. At his height, that's very doable naturally, so I'm gonna call natural. Shan, no way in hell that this dude is natural. He's definitely on testosterone. He just runs in that Retaliation Project crowd with Connor Sinan. They're just not natural. I mean, if you think this is natural, then you don't know anything about the gym, in my opinion. Joe Fazer, bro, he's natural. Like, he's gotten not natty accusations in the past just because of the fact that like he put on muscle really quickly, but like just looking at this picture, he's been looking really natural as of recent. So I'm gonna say natural. Will Tennyson, I do believe in this guy's like message and content, so I'm gonna claim lifetime natural. I also saw him on like the Chris Williamson podcast where he was like talking about why he's like glad he didn't hop on steroids when like all of his college buddies were hopping on it and stuff, and I feel like he just has a lot of knowledge about the sport, and it's a very naturally attainable physique, so I'm gonna call it natural. Shizzy, I've went back and forth about this, but I'm finally going to say natural just because I just think he does have elite genetics. You know what? I'm going to take it back. I'm going to say he's dabbled in the past before, but he's natural right now. That's all I'm going to say about that. Brody shreds. I think this is a naturally attainable physique. He's really, he's really shredded, but him too, I feel like he runs in like the Casey Kelly crowd as well, where they just claim, well, they're just about the natural lifestyle. This is a naturally attainable physique with hard work and consistency, so I'm going to say natural for this one. But that's going to be our last person. Actually, we got one more. Jesse James West. Also, I claim natural here. I've been following his content for a while, and just his message and just what he knows about the sport as well, and then, the bodybuilding shows he's competed in as well. I'm going to claim natural, and his physique is very attainable naturally. Bro, this posing room is elite. Look how deep it is right here. It's absolutely insane. I got 2 of these too. That's the craziest part. Here's the part you guys have been waiting for. We're gonna ask fellow gym goers here at AR if your favorite influencer is natural or not. Let's do it. Who am I here with?
Austin.
Austin, how would you say your knowledge is about like guessing whether people are on steroids or not?
I think it's pretty good.
Let's put it to the test right now. Do you think this guy right here is natural or not?
I'll say no.
Why do you think that?
Actually, I maybe say he is natural.
You do think he's natural?
Yeah, not as veiny as most dudes who are on roids are. So.
Yeah, so he actually just won his pro card naturally.
Okay, I got it right there.
There you go. 1 for 1. Max Taylor.
That's a hard one. I would still say natural.
Yep, he's a self-proclaimed natural. 2 for 2. Gabe Deutsch.
Natural, for sure.
Yeah?
I think that's pretty easy. Or is he just like, am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
I'm right?
Yeah.
All right, 3 for 3.
So what made you say that Gabe is natural?
I don't know. There's something about him. He looks natural. Again, I always think the dudes who are on roids are super veiny. More cardiovascular shit. So he looks natural to me.
All right, 3 for 3 so far. Lex Little.
Oh, he's on roids.
You think he's not natural?
Steroids. He's got such a small waist and huge thighs. Gotta be.
So, based on his following and like what he preaches to his following, he says he's a lifetime natural.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
So, but you don't think he's natural?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, so all the dudes here, they say they're natural. Not all the dudes. Some of them are actually on gear, but a lot of them may be lying. Adam Q.
I think he's natural.
You think he's natural?
Yeah.
Okay. Also a self-proclaimed natural. Hussein Fit. This is a very controversial one.
I think he's on roids for sure.
You think he's on gear?
Yeah, gotta be.
What's the giveaway here for you?
He's just a big dude. I think it's hard to get that big without some roids.
So he actually just competed in a natural show as well.
Really? Yeah. Well, good for him.
But he's probably the most controversial one on this list.
I can totally see that.
Steph Myers.
Gotta be on roids. His arms are huge. They're the size of his head. Gotta be.
Another self-proclaimed natural.
Really?
But I've had my doubts about this guy as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. And last, Jeff Nippard.
I'd say he's natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just looks it to me.
Yeah. So this guy is known as the Natty King. He's 100% science-based, and like he says he'll never touch gear ever.
Good for him, man.
So you say he's 100% natural though?
Yeah, I think so. I think the ones you showed me prior are controversial, but.
All right, so we're gonna have the counter on the screen, and we'll see how my boy Austin did in the comments below. All right, who am I here with?
Preston.
All right, Preston, how would you say your knowledge is when it comes to guessing whether people are on steroids or not?
I'm not gonna say I'm perfect, but I think I have a general.
You have a good radar.
Yeah, a decent radar, I'd say.
All right, so let's put that to the test right now. We're gonna go through a couple of fitness influencers, and you're gonna guess whether they're natural or not. Okay. All right. We're gonna start with the Brinks.
I'm gonna say not natural.
Why do you think he's not natural?
I don't know, actually. The size is crazy. The only thing that would tell me he's natural, I feel like the delts would be a little more poppy if he was on gear, but everything else tells me gear.
So you don't think he's natural?
I don't. No.
So he actually just won his pro card in a natural competition.
Really?
Yeah. He's 100% natural.
That's insane.
All right. Next up, so you're 0 for 1. We're going to keep his counter on the screen above. Max Taylor.
I I'm gonna say natural because he's like one of those athletes that he's always him and Lex Little both. They're always preaching natural. So I'll say I think he's still natural to this day.
So he is a 100% self-proclaimed natural.
Yes.
But then again, we never know
Right.
whether people are telling the truth or not. So let's keep that with an open mind. Gabe Deutsch.
I'm gonna say Gabe's natural. I've never had any reason to think that he's on anything. Also considering just the crowd he hangs out with are all mainly self-proclaimed natties. Obviously still take it with a grain of salt because you never know, but I'd say natural.
Adam Q. This is a controversial one.
I don't even know if I've ever seen this guy before.
I want to point out that he put on like 40 pounds of muscle in like a year and a half.
He gives me not natural vibes. Like he looks like he's not natural, but I could see where the controversy comes from.
He is a self-proclaimed natural.
Really?
Like he preaches being natural as well.
Interesting.
Now here is the real toss-up. Very curious about this one. Hussein Fit.
He always got me. Dang, man, I don't know.
Off of first glance, what would you immediately think?
I would say natural because I'm looking at the delts first. That's normally what I go to. His the left delt right there, closer to the camera. But the right delt looks a little poppier, but it's always angles and whatnot. I'm gonna stick with natural though.
You got it.
Okay. Sweet.
There you go. You got it. Steph Myers.
He's also in that crowd with Lex and Gabe, so I'm gonna say natural as well.
There you go. Last up, Jeff Nippard.
Natural.
No hesitation.
I'm pretty sure he's one of the big science guys. I think he's natural.
All right, we're gonna leave his score, like I said, on the screen above, and we'll see how he did later. All right, who am I here with? Mitchell. Mitchell, what would you say? How well do you think you know? Like, if you saw someone, would you be able to easily tell whether they're on steroids or not?
I don't know about easily, but you could definitely tell like certain things depending on their lifestyle. If, like I watched them for like probably a couple weeks, I could probably tell.
Okay. So, whenever you're on social media, like just taking a look at like someone's pictures, do you think you have a decent idea?
Yeah, for the most part, I'd say so. Yeah.
All right. Let's put that to the test right now. So I'm gonna be showing you controversial fitness influencers, and you're gonna give me whether you think they're natural or not. All right. We're starting off with Mike Thurston.
I bet he's on some sort of probably test. He's probably on test, I would say.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
1 for 1. All right. Casey Kelly.
I think I know that this guy claims Natty, but I don't know. Like he's naturally just very obviously lean and aesthetic. I don't think it's not. I think he's able to. Yeah, he's probably Natty. He's probably Natty.
Okay. So yeah, he is a self-proclaimed natty, but we're also gonna take what everyone says with a grain of salt at the end of the day. But we're gonna put his counter on the screen. So right now he's 2 for 2, according to what the influencer says. But Shan, I'm so curious to see what you said.
I think just based on size, like he's probably on something. But I also I don't think he has got like crazy. It's not like crazy where it's like he couldn't obtain it if he lifted for a long period of time. I also don't know how old he is, so I think that's.
So he's like a young buck. He's like 22, 23.
He's probably on something. Probably tough.
3 for 3. There you go. Yeah. This boy is not natural, bro. Joe Fazer.
He's Natty. Yeah.
And no hesitation.
Yeah, no disrespect. He's Natty.
He has been looking natural as of late. Will Tennyson.
He's probably on.
You think he's on something?
Yeah, probably.
So he's actually like a diehard like natty guy.
Really?
Yeah. So
he looks great for if he is Natty. He looks great.
So I think he's about 4 for 5 right now.
This one's the controversial. I think I watch Shizzy and I love his content. I don't think he would really lie about it. Like he doesn't really have much to gain from it. Like he could just come out and be like, oh, like I'm on, and everyone would be like, oh, you look sick. But I think he's probably Natty just because he claims it.
So you just think like elite genetics?
Yeah, I do think he has really good genetics. Like look at his arms. Like look at his brother also. Like they both got great genetics. So.
Okay. I'm not even gonna put a counter on this one because I still don't believe that Shizzy's natural in any way. Brody Shreds.
No, he's not Natty.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
I think for me, what gives it away is he's obviously just very, very lean, but I think his vascularity throughout his arms and his shoulders and his chest striations just naturally, but I could be wrong. Like I think
He does say he's a lifetime natty.
Okay.
But I
Everyone
could see,
claims that.
yeah, everyone says that, but I could see why you would think that. And last up, Jesse James West.
Physique has went so up and down just to like show and everything like that. I think he's probably Natty. I do think so.
Yeah, he's also one of those like YouTubers who like will never say like who says they'll never hop on gear.
Which I think once you get to a certain point, like there's almost no point in doing it. Like I just don't think it's necessary. So.
And we're gonna put his counter on the screen. I think he did pretty well, but we finna see who's gonna win the video. All right, y'all, that was the Natty or Not game. I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to like and subscribe and share the video now. Chase greatness. Peace.